Hello and welcome to the second semifinals. In this match, we have BFG going up against Secret Empire. Both teams very strong, making it all the way to the semifinals. And we are going to be going into draft right now. And we did have some issues during the first game, so we're just going to be picking into blind pick for the same exact champions right here, right now. So we see that Lee Sin actually wasn't banned, so we may be seeing him as a jungler. I'm not entirely sure what the bans were, but we're going to be seeing both teams trying their hardest to make it in the finals. If you didn't see the first semifinals, you can see that in the video that we posted right before this one. I did live stream that one. Games were pretty good. It shows you that even if you have a significant gold lead, you can lose it. And also how objective play should be played. Sometimes you can take objectives and make them really worth it, but other times taking objectives, if you lose so much gold, it just isn't effective and it doesn't scale fast enough. So you can go watch those games. There are some really great lessons to be learned if you want to learn how to play Wild Rift more effectively. But with that, we will be getting into the first game. And again, this is blind pick because we did have some issues during the first game. So we're going to be seeing both teams loading in right now. And so let's see the other team's draft. And they did go Yasuo, Alistar, Corki, Camille, and Vi. And so this team has a ton of knockup, and then they can capitalize on it with Yasuo ult. So Alistar into Yasuo definitely going to be a combo to watch out for. And on the enemy team, we also have a lot of CC with Galio, Rakan, and then Lee Sin wasn't banned, so he may be going for an invade on Vi, but we'll just have to see because Vi isn't strong pre-level 5. Both teams are spawning in here into the match. We're going to be seeing the level 1 strats. Is there going to be cheese from either of the team? Are there going to be any weird lane swaps or invade? Last couple of games in the other semifinals, we did see some invades. So both teams are just going out it right now. Vi is getting poked by Lee Sin. He is maybe will engage with his first skill, and with that, Vi goes down. She's not there backed up by the team. I don't know why she was so far forward. She wanted to get a ward. Was it worth it? Definitely not. She did go down right there, and with that, they should be securing their blue buff. So we see some interesting lane swaps as Galio is inside of the Baron lane and Garen is in the Dragon lane, and Kaisa and Rakan are going mid. Very interesting, as maybe this is a meta shift. We see Vi just starting at her red right now. She is at a deficit after going for that very, very dubious first engage onto the blue buff, and she does get punished and picked off for that. So we do see some interesting laning as Galio and Garen are going into side lanes, and Rakan is Rakan and Kaisa are in the mid lane. So I think initially they want to go Galio mid with his roaming potential and how he can affect other lanes and impact it with his ultimate. And then Garen is a pretty decent Baron laner, but I wouldn't say he is an A-tier champ. I would say Camille is definitely better and has a ton more outplay potential, especially in this matchup where Camille's passive always seems like it's up before you can do anything. It looks like there is some sort of gank right here coming up. It looks like Alistar are just going to back up. Corki is coming. We'll see if Vi wants to contest this Rift Scuttler. Lee Sin does have smite. He does try to smite it. We'll see who did win that smite fight right there. Rakan is able to get the double knock up right here. Yasuo going in with first skill, but it's not going to be enough damage. Both team just going to disengage for now. And Vi did steal that Rift Scuttler. Lee Sin using his smite on it a little bit too early, allowing Vi to capitalize on that mistake and take that Rift Scuttler. But we may be seeing another engage in the top lane. It looks like Vi just got poked down a little bit. Alistar maybe wants to go for the knockup, just knocks up Lee Sin right there. Rakan also going for a knockup of his own, only get winning person. Alistar going for the headbutt, making sure that his team is peeled. Camille getting the second skill off, getting the move speed boost, and engaging with her passive, pops barrier. 4 more sustain. It looks like Vi it has hit level 5 and goes for the ultimate. Beautiful team fight, triple kill coming out from Yasuo, capitalizing on all the CC and putting out the damage right there. We saw Yasuo just dishing out the damage after all that CC. Vi hit level 5 just in time to ult the enemy team, and with that they win the first team fight, going for a 4-for-0 trade right there. Very cleanly done. Lee Sin still level 3 to Vi's level 5, so we at the start, I thought we were going to be seeing a jungle diff for Secret Empire, but actually the jungle diff is on the other side, where we see Vi actually getting ahead of Lee Sin right now, and Lee Sin is more of a ticking time bomb right now. You need to make the most of his kit in the early game. You need to try to secure double scuttler and go for a lot more aggressive plays to really make the most out of what he can do after the nerfs that he did get. Every single patch he's been nerfed, but he still proves to be a dominant pick. But right now we do see Vi capitalizing on a lot of the Lee Sin's mistakes, and she is picking up the early lead right now. The dragon will be spawning in around 40 seconds. Both teams will be going for their resets pretty soon, just to be as beefy as possible for that team fight. So far, the lane swap not working out too much, as during that team fight, Kai'Sa and Rakan were in the mid lane and they were able to help out their team more. So this may develop into a new meta right here, but we see a gank coming into the bot lane as Yasuo is engaging down there, as well as Vi invading Lee Sin right there. She may have gotten blue buff, I didn't see for sure, but Galio and Rakan are cornered right now under this turret. We'll see how they want to approach this. It looks like they may just back off, as Kai'Sa and Rakan are here to back them up. Galio not going to be in range for that taunt right there, and I think Vi might have stolen the blue buff for Lee Sin. If she did, that would put Lee Sin at a really disadvantaged position, and she did. And Lee Sin's only level 5 to Vi's level 7, and she's almost hitting level 8. She might be able to hit a level 8 after taking the scuttler right here. Almost at that level 8, and Lee Sin needs to have a lead early, or else later into the game he just doesn't scale as well. He just can't put out the damage that he used to be able to. And with all the nerfs that did come out onto Lee Sin, he's going to be a much weaker champ. The Infernal Dragon is alive, but it looks like Vi is recalling, so they won't be starting that right away. It looks like Camille's recalling as well. We're going to be seeing if she wants to join the team fight. Both teams just want to be as strong as possible with as many items as possible for this team fight, as this first dragon often can decide the course of the game. Both teams are gearing up for this dragon, clearing vision and setting up vision so they can counter the enemy team. It looks like Yasuo is caught out of position just a bit right here, and he will go down to the enemy team. Kai'Sa picking up the kill on Yasuo. Corki engaging with the second skill and passage. It looks like Kai'Sa is able to get a shutdown on Yasuo right there. Vi ulting onto Lee Sin, but it's just not going to be enough. Garen gets the ult, and it might be just enough to finish off Kai'Sa right there. She does go down, but only after she kills Vi. It looks like 3 members of each team are left alive. It looks like Garen is going to get the reset off right now, and so are all the other members of Secret Empire. Alistair and Camille going for resets of their own, and both teams respawning. Neither team going for the dragon, but the Rift Herald will spawn in 19 seconds, so we're going to see how both teams want to approach that objective. So both objectives will be going up. The right play would be to cross map, and if one team is going to secure one objective, just go to the other one, so you are trading something for another thing. The mid lane is getting cleared out. We do see them getting priority right there, and BFG are starting the dragon right now. We'll be seeing how Lee Sin wants to approach this. He's one of the best champions, I would say, for steals on objectives like the dragon, like the Baron. You've all seen it, and you've seen the Lee Sin engage with the first kill and smite down the dragon, and it's just a feels bad moment for his team. He does engage right here. Let's see if he gets the steal, and like I said, right there, we see the steal from Lee Sin. He's the best champion to go for those kind of steals, especially with the second skill on Flash. He does burn both of those in that fight right there, and Lee Sin able to get the steal right there. So even though BFG did have the position, as I was saying, I was predicting it right there. Lee Sin going for the steal and getting it. A skilled Lee Sin will have a 50-50 chance even if your team doesn't have the position right there. It looks like another team fight is going out right now. Camille immuning that right there with her ult, and Lee Sin does go down. However, Rakan does get a return kill right there, and Galio also going down. It looks like Garen gets stunned, but he just wants to flash away right there and is going to get out safe and sound. So Corki goes down, and Galio and Lee Sin go down for Secret Empire, and both teams taking a hit, but Secret Empire definitely going to get the worst trade with 2-for-1 right there. Kai'Sa dishing out damage on Alistair. She is able to get the kill right there. Let's see if Camille's able to get stunned. Zanya's Hourglass coming in clutch, making sure that Kai'Sa survives from that engage on Camille. So she wasn't able to get any return kill. Zanya is Hourglass definitely coming in clutch, avoiding that stun from Camille's wall jump. It looks like Yasuo just going to flash out after a gank comes out from Lee Sin. And it looks like the lane swap has been off, even though we are approaching the mid game. So we will be seeing ADC and support playing in the mid lane a bit more often, but we do see Galio in mid as well, making sure that he can use his ult more impactfully. We're going to be seeing how he can use his kit to the max power. And even though Lee Sin doesn't scale well, his ADC certainly does, as Kai'Sa is one of the best scaling ADCs in the game. I would say even better than Corki, and only second to the scaling god Jinx, who is probably the best scaling ADC in the game, especially when combined with Lulu. But Kai'Sa definitely going to be a very big threat later into the game. But we may be seeing a team fight coming in right here as the engage is there. Alistar going for the knockup right there. Vi is going for the ult, but she is just not going to be able to finish it off. Kai'Sa is getting a kill on there. Garen ults the Camille, but she does have that passive shield, making her survive at literally 1 HP right there. The Baron will be tried to be taken by Secret Empire. The Rift Herald will be trying to be taken by Secret Empire, trying to capitalize on that lead that they had, and sure enough, Lee Sin does get the spike and the last hit on the Rift Herald. They're going to be having that objective along with their dragon, so they are 2 objectives to 0. But again, Lee Sin does scale. He's probably one of the worst scaling champions in the current game, as he really can't do anything late game. He needs to play aggressively, and so far he has been doing that decently. Even though his early game was a little bit shaky, he has been getting that steal on that dragon and also securing the Rift Herald right there for his team. And both teams going for resets. And if you do look at the items, more and more items are coming online, and we are approaching the mid game right here. Interestingly enough, Vi did take teleport, so we will be seeing some side lane pressure from her and then teleporting back into the mid lane or wherever the team fight is, just to join in and provide her extra piece of damage. And even though we haven't seen it too much right now, we're going to be seeing the Alistar Yasuo knockup combo, and we're going to be seeing if that's going to be a threat here, because we haven't seen it come out yet, but it's definitely going to be a combo that you need to watch out for, especially if you're Secret Empire in this situation. Kai'Sa also has been popping off this game 5 and 2, so she has really great scaling, as I've been talking a lot about this cast. And if she gets fed, we all know how bad it can be if you are on the side. It looks like the gank is coming down onto Camille, and 4v1. Camille is great at skirmishes, but not that great. We see Vi going for an engage. She's going to try to do a 4v1 of her own, but might get away with it when she has flash and ult like that. Corki there to peel and make sure that Vi stays safe. A really nice engage by Vi. Honestly, I didn't think she was going to be able to make it, but that's what sets apart the pros. They know exactly the limits of their champions, and she knew that she could go for the burst combo right there. And indeed, she does take down Lee Sin. Once again, definitely Vi gunning after Lee Sin right there. But the mid turret may go down, as 3 of BFG were knocking onto that turret, and it does indeed go down. Now they can set up more vision around that and set up ganks and flanks, as well as have priority for when they are taking the dragon, which is the Ocean Dragon. We may be seeing Lee Sin going for another steal right here, but it's going to be too late. Too little too late, as he arrives after the dragon is already dead. So the dragons are 1 for 1, but we need to remember that even though it looks as if BFG do have a slight lead right now, a 3k gold lead, Secret Empire does have their weapon in Kai'Sa, as she scales extremely well into the game, but so does Corki and Yasuo. So it really depends on who gets fed and who can get online faster with 2 or 3 item power spikes for their ADC, or even Yasuo, as he does scale really well into the game and is an amazing split pusher if he does get fed. We have seen some amazing Yasuo games where he was able to backdoor in the last tournament, and he was able to clutch up an almost lost game. So we do see a little bit of positioning coming out from both teams. So far, no engage. So both teams have the potential to win team fights. It just really depends on how Kai'Sa will able to be kiting around her team. BFG definitely tried to take her out first, as she has been carrying most of these fights, dishing out so much damage. So they want to be trying to get Kai'Sa first. That's going to be priority. And then, of course, Secret Empire know this, and they're going to be trying to guard Kai'Sa with as much as they can, with Galio's knockup, with Rakan having his knockup as well, and Charm, and Lee Sin with his kick. So we're going to be seeing Lee Sin going for a quick burst combo onto Alistar, kicks him back right there. Galio engages with his ult. He's joining the team fight with a bang, but there's not going to be a team fight for him to dish out damage in, as both teams just backing off right there. The Rift Herald has been summoned top, maybe a little bit of side lane pressure coming out right there, but it looks as if BFG are going to be able to deal with it no problem, with Corki heading up there to take it out. Usually you want to be using your Rift Herald while there is something going on, like an objective fight or a team fight, and when you do that, the Rift Herald can really get the most value, as when the other team isn't watching out, you can really dish out that damage that you need, and the Rift Herald doesn't even get one charge off on the turret. That's why you need some other pressure around the map to use that Rift Herald to its full potential. It looks like a team fight maybe gunning right here, as Lee Sin does engage with Protobelt, but he isn't going to be getting much. The teleport is coming out for Yasuo. It looks like he wants to join this party as well. Kai'Sa does have the ult if she does want to engage. Garen just spinning and trying to dish out much damage as he can with his third skill. It looks like they're just going to be focusing Baron on right now, but that may be his mistake, as they are all really low. The wombo combo may come out. Lee Sin still able to get the Baron Nashor right now. He does have that heal, and Galio getting knocked up on Camille. Camille just flashing away for now, using his second skill to disengage. Corki goes down. I didn't mention that, but he did go down right there. I think Garen may have taken him out, as he did have his ult down, and Corki going down as well. So overall, a really great fight for Secret Empire, as they were able to take down Corki as well as take Baron Nashor. They have been, I think, losing a bit in the side lanes. Definitely the pressure from BFG in the side lanes has been better, but their team fight and it looks like their outplay and mechanics are just a little bit better. So both teams good in their own respective areas. And we're going to be seeing who will win. But right now, Secret Empire definitely are down in turrets, but they can catch up easily with the Baron buff, but not if they waste it like this. Garen may just go down to a little bit of an overextension as Corki takes him down. The Cloud Dragon is spawning on 15 seconds. If Secret Empire are able to put pressure around the map, they should be able to secure that dragon, especially with Lee Sin and Kai'Sa split pushing like this. If you're just going to ignore it, then they're just going to take more turrets. That's just how it works. And Lee Sin and Kai'Sa are taking that inner turret right now. And Galio and Rakan are just stalling. What are BFG going to do about it? Like, they're not going to engage under turret. And Galio is even joining the split push, as they may even get the inhib with the Baron buff. And sure enough, they do take the inhib, but in the meantime, they BFG objective trading well and taking the Cloud Dragon as well, taking 2 dragons for the team to only the 1 of BFG. But Corki and Yasuo do go down, so this may end the game as Alistar tries to flash in and get the knockup right here. He does get a 3-man knockup, and Camille does ult, but it's just not going to be enough. And with that, they take the first game, just showing that the Baron buff, how powerful it is. It buffs all your minions, and just showing how powerful it is, especially if you are taking inhibs. If you're just going to ignore the split push, that's what they're going to do. They're going to punish you, and Kai'Sa picking up MVP. Secret Empire taking game 1. A little bit of a shaky start for jungle for Lee Sin. The only kill that he got was on Vi in the early game. But after that, he did provide a lot of utility to the team. Even though his score does look bad, he did get a steal on the dragon. And did capitalize on a lot of the objectives early game. If we do see the damage dealt, we can see definitely Kai'Sa coming out on top with 16k damage. And if we saw the game go a bit later, we would see that insane damage that you see on Kai'Sa, especially later into the game when she has more items that come online. On the other side, we have Corki dealing the most damage of the entire game, 18k damage. Definitely a force to be reckoned with his armor shred. It definitely works on more tanky champions like Rakan, like Galio, like Garen, and you can see the value right there, as he did dish out 18,000 damage, with second most damage coming out from Camille, who is a really great top laner, and there was a lot of skirmishes breaking out, and that's where Camille really can thrive. All right, so we will be heading into the next match soon. The current score is 1 for Secret Empire to the 0 of BFG. This is a best of 3 series, and so I want you to stay tuned for that. It's just definitely going to be another close match just like this one. And the sponsors of this tournament are ShotCall, which is shotcall.gg. You can sign up for tournaments there. They got great Wilders tournaments if you want to see that. Also, it's sponsored by Wild Rift, League of Legends Wild Rift, the global server. You can check out the Discord in the link down below. And the caster is yours truly, Po Jelly. If you want to subscribe, then that would be absolutely amazing. And I would really, really love it and appreciate it if you do that. And also leave a like on the video if you do like these kind of tournaments and these casts. So we'll be back soon with Game 2. You definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to be another close game, and you'll be learning a lot of advanced concepts when you watch pro play, and maybe even apply them to your own games. So I'll see you then. All right, so the next game is starting soon. The bans were Gragas, Ziggs. We had a Gragas ban, Ziggs ban, and a Kaisa ban, and those are champions that we have been seeing banned pretty often. And we see the first pick being Galio, definitely not showing his full potential last game, but showing a lot of his utility, and his ultimate did definitely help them with the backdoor last game with the Baron buff. And on the other side, we see Lee Sin being picked, as well as Lee Sin and Akali being hovered. Both of the champs are pretty good in the current meta. I would say Akali definitely an A tier pick, a solid mid laner, as well as Lee Sin having the potential to invade and having the potential to dominate the early game. However, I don't think he's as dominant as he used to be, as he is kind of like a ticking time bomb, whereas in the later into the game, you really need to make the most out of his kit to really get the damage that you want from him. And also, you need to go for risky things like double Scuttler to really make the most out of his kit. On the other side, we see the Vi pick coming out again, as well as Camille. So a similar draft to last time. And so Vi is definitely a jungler that can have a lot of impact, especially if she does land those ults. And after level 5, she's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And also Camille, a top laner who is pretty broken in skirmishes and can really 2v1 enemy champions if she is played properly, and has tons of skill expression. On the other side, we have Orianna and Corki. So we're going to be seeing Corki ADC, which has been more popular in the recent meta. I would say even more popular than Corki mid, which is the initial position that we saw Corki being played in, as well as Orianna, champion that got nerfed a ton in the last patch. However, she still is really strong with her insane amounts of damage and all of her utility in her kit. Sorry, 1 second. All right, so back in. So yeah, on the other side, sorry about that, but we do have Jhin and Katarina. Katarina not being banned in this game, and we saw Katarina in the other semifinals match just take over the game, and we'll probably be seeing Katarina mid and then Galio as a support. So Galio is able to be played in almost every position, I would say, maybe except jungler or ADC, but he can definitely play in any lane. And on the other side, we see Rakan coming out as their support of choice. And this is going to be definitely an interesting match to watch, especially Galio. I want to see him use the most, make the most use out of his ultimate to join those team fights. Usually as Galio, you want to be side laning in the mid to late game and use your global to join those team fights and make sure that you have a ton of impact in those. And we see that the players are all loading into the game, and they are a little bit lower ranked because of the season reset, but they are probably going to grind that back up. Now we have the level 1 strats, and we've seen invades come out. We've seen Vi get punished for playing a little bit stupidly in the last game, going in by herself last time. And so we're going to be seeing how both teams want to be approaching this match. So right now we just see them going for standard play, but it looks like Camille, it looks like Lee Sin may be trying to invade the red, but Vi's team expecting that, also invading the enemy red as well. And so both teams just going for a level 1 invade. So you actually see this a lot happen in competitive play, especially if you're a jungler. Oh wait, whoops, sorry, my bad. It's just going to be a standard start. I forgot that the map is mirrored. So Lee Sin just going to start out as red, and same thing for Vi. But what I was talking about before is actually happening now, as Galio and Vi are invading the enemy blue. It has been warded, but they're just going to be taking it anyways and brute forcing that. And we do see an interesting lane swap coming out again. So we saw this last game, and we're seeing it again, where the support and ADC are mid instead of going into the dragon lane. And this may become the new meta, as eventually you are going to have your support and ADC in the mid lane, and if you have them there, then you have 2 people that can roam around the map and 2 people that can help you with Scuttler and other things like that. So it's definitely a viable choice. Last game it did work out pretty well for them. So we're going to be seeing if it's going to work out for them again. And we see Vi taking down the Scuttler right here. We're going to see both teams just grouping around it. As first skirmish is going to happen, Galio getting the taunt and Jhin getting the root, and after that, that will secure the kill as Vi picks up first blood in this game and also secures that Rift Scuttler. So Galio getting the taunt definitely set up the Jin route right there. It's a nice follow-up CC, and with that chain CC, they will be taking first blood. And Orianna is actually pretty low here, so there may be a 3v1 gank as Galio does engage. He does get the taunt, and with that, they pick up the second kill of the game as well, securing a 1k lead for themselves. Nicely done by them. Cat is a little bit low, so she may just be going for recall here, but it looks like she wants to get that gold under turret. Yeah, so overall, nothing too fancy coming out right now. Just Vi able to capitalize on a little bit of an overextension by Lee Sin and gets that kill. And then when Orianna is left undefended and the duo lane is up against 2v1, Vi's able to capitalize that and gank Orianna. So the ADC and support in the mid lane for Secret Empire isn't working out too well for them, as they haven't been able to capitalize on so much of the roaming, where Jin and Galio in the bot lane has helped Vi get a gank right there and pick up a kill. And in the mid lane, Katarina has been playing a bit more safely, and she isn't able to snowball the game like a Katarina usually does. But the trade-off is that Orianna is a little bit weaker in the side lane just by herself, playing that 2v1, right? And also Galio can roam to mid if he needs to, and that's what he's doing now as Vi is there as well. Galio trying to go for the taunt, but doesn't hit it on anyone at all, but he does get knock up on there. And with Vi following up and Katarina ult, they are going to be able to secure that kill on Galio right there. So now it's a 3-0 lead, and the Mountain Dragon is coming soon, so they probably have the upper hand in that fight. But again, Lee Sin is one of the best champions to steal those kinds of objectives, so we're going to be seeing how he goes about and tries to steal that dragon. We've seen the Lee Sin go for the steal last time, and he was successful, so let's see if we can do it again. Right now, he may not even be in the fight. Oh wait, no, he is just taking his blue buff, and Rakan just going for a little bit of poke on the enemy team. He has so much escape tools with his dashes as well as his shield that actually lets him dash to another champion. Both teams gearing up as much as they can before this dragon fight, and both teams buying items and making sure they're strong as possible for this first dragon fight. The Mountain Dragon is alive. It looks like BFG are gearing up and taking the position around that dragon. Meanwhile, most of Secret Empire are pushing the top lane. Let's see if they are going to take that dragon. Only Lee Sin's left there, and he is engaged on. He doesn't need to burn flash to get away, as he has his dash. And it looks like BFG aren't even going to be starting the dragon, as they're going to be taking a turret of their own. They're saying, if you want to take a turret, that's fine. We can do that as well, as they start taking down the mid inhib. And it doesn't look like they're going to be going for the second turret as well. They're just going to be going for the Mountain Dragon, and they're just leaving Lee Sin there to try to steal it. But Galio is guarding the premises, and Lee Sin does get CC'd. We're going to be seeing if he does get down. He does have flash, just in case he does need to burn that. He tries to go for the first kill onto the Raptors, but he misses by a hair. But he still will be surviving despite Katarina having ignited him, and Vi does secure that dragon. But in the meantime, Secret Empire has been able to secure 2 turrets, and they may even secure a kill on Camille. But Galio comes in with his ultimate. This is what I was talking about. But Camille still goes down due to Orianna ult coming out right now. Vi trying to get the kill right now, and she is on Rakan right there. Luckily in the back line, and she is really, really low. She burns flash, but the Jin snipe isn't going to hit her. And with that, she should be able to get out. She is ignited. She pops Zanya's hourglass, but it's going to be all for nothing, as she does go down to a Jin auto attack. Almost survived there with the sneaky sidesteps and all of those kind of moves, but just not going to be enough. There's only so much you can do with your kit. And with that, Akali goes down. And so actually BFG securing a pretty big lead in this first game, a 4k gold lead over Secret Empire, who did take game 1, so they may even up the series, taking us to a game 3. Both teams are pretty evenly matched. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, and we're seeing those come out right now, as both teams have a bit of different strategies. Secret Empire going for the turrets, whereas BFG are going for those dragons. It's definitely going to make a difference, as the Mountain Dragon isn't too big of a deal, especially if the enemy team doesn't have so much poke. But here we have some engaged by Vi. Corki is low. He does pop that down, use Hourglass to stay safe, but a huge taunt comes out from Galio, a huge 4-man taunt, but it's not going to be enough as there's no follow-up, and with that, Rakan may be going down as well as Katarina goes for a dive right here, but she may be outplayed by Rakan. Rakan does go for the shield, but it's not going to be enough. Katarina picking up killing spree right there, and snowballing despite having such a big deficit early on in the game. She survives with tiny bit of HP, and even though she had the 2v1 lane in the early game, she's still able to pick up those kills and snowball, definitely showing her prowess on Katarina. Core right there on the Katarina, definitely showing how skilled he can be, how skilled he can be on that Katarina, and showing how to play her at her full potential. So in that fight, they pick up 2 kills for 0, and Corki may be picking up a kill for his own right here, but Camille just able to use her barrier and get away relatively easily. And Katarina comes in here. Jhin ult is out right now. Let's see if Katarina will engage. Corki is extremely low. Galio is ulting in as well. Katarina picks up the rampage as well as the kill on Corki right there after he did burn his Zhonya's Hourglass. Akali goes for the engage, but gets taunted by Galio. No follow-up going to come out there. Akali Shroud, definitely one of the most broken abilities in the game. She did hit her 3rd skill, but it looks like she isn't going to engage off of that. Both teams just backing off for now. And Vi, in the meantime, was putting in that side lane pressure and maybe even able to get an inner turret. So far, it looks like Lee Sin may go down to a Vi combo, but Vi giving up her life for that as well. The inner turret won't go down, but it is down to 300 HP, so definitely can be taken down by champions if they just want to auto attack that turret. It looks like a small skirmish is going to come out here, but Galio just able to peel with his knockup, and Jhin getting out safe and sound. Galio definitely a hard counter to AP champions and AP assassins like Akali that don't have enough burst to kill Galio. And so Akali definitely going to be struggling in this game, especially because Galio does have that taunt. So even if you do use your engage, you're not going to be able to follow up. After you get taunted, you might just get CC'd and die. So Galio definitely a hard counter to Akali. It looks like Vi did find Akali right here. She does try to go for a burst combo right here, but Akali, the king of burst combos, Vi able to immune the ultimate, a very nice Zhonya's Hourglass by her, and Akali will be going down to Katarina, picking up the unstoppable, absolutely popping off in this game. And so Akali goes down, and so far there's a 12-2 lead, and they already have 1 dragon. They're going to be picking up their 2nd right here, which is the Cloud Dragon, very important for rotations and those kind of things. They are going to be picking that up, and with that they take the Cloud Dragon and add that to their list of objectives, which are 4 turrets and a Mountain Dragon already. And if we do look at the items right now, Katarina absolutely popping off, going 5-0-3, trying to build her death cap right now. After she recalls, she may even have enough gold to do that. And if we look at the ADCs, right, Jhin already has Phantom Dancer and Infinity Edge, and also Executioner's Calling just to impair any healing. And on the other side, we have Corki only on 1 item and his tier. So definitely the advantage on BFG's side, as they do have more items and they do have that lead from the dragons as well. Looks like Lee Sin's going to be taunted right here. Katarina is in the area, but just not close enough to follow up right away. And in the meantime, we just see both teams just trying to farm it up. So I think, Jhin might be caught out of position right here, but he just uses flash after the first skill. He does get charmed by Rakan, but it's not going to be enough. Jhin just too fed. He just says, get out of here. You're not going to kill me today. And he just escapes using his insane amounts of damage and kiting. Jhin is able to pick up the kill with his ult, double kill for him, and gets the snipe onto Orianna, getting her extremely low. Katarina may be able to finish this off, and if not, Galio's there. He goes in with a bang with his ultimate, but the kill's ultimately going to come off of the Ignite, and a 4-for-0 trade. Galio being extremely low, but not going down just yet. Being like a rock right there, just going in and tanking a bunch of damage. A really great frontliner. And with that, they may be able to secure the Baron play. Lee Sin is heading in that general vicinity, but I don't think he's going to be there in time. And even if he was, Galio was there just to make sure that he doesn't go for the steal. They are going to be resetting. And let's see the items. Death Cap coming out from Katarina. Infinity Edge, Mortal Reminder, and Phantom Dancer finished for Jin. That shield is definitely going to be an important asset that he has, as well as everyone finishing their enchant. Even Galio is on 2 items. Akali isn't even on 2 items herself, as she doesn't even have her Gunblade done. She went for Death Cap first, definitely not paying off, as she wasn't able to get that damage. Unless you're really snowballing, I wouldn't recommend Death Cap first item, as it does scale off of your other AP items and gives you more damage the more AP that you have, as the passive on the item does give you a percentage more of your AP. So far, Katarina really popping off, but now we're seeing Jin kind of scaling into the game and kind of showing how marksman should be played in team fights. Jin hasn't been a super popular pick, but in my opinion, he's one of the best marksmen, as he has amazing kiting, as you saw earlier in the game, as well as a very impactful ultimate. Akali getting a little bit low, but she is going to be able to escape. And so far, a lot of pressure coming down. All the inner turrets have gone down, so only the inhibs remain. And for Secret Empire, and it looks like Lee Sin maybe have to pop his GA right there. Katarina getting the godlike right there. Galio, huge knockup right there onto Rakan. Rakan having to flash out with 1 HP. Vi getting the kill onto Corki. She is trying to get the Lee Sin, but maybe took 1 too many turret shots, as she has to burn Zanya's. Galio going down as well. Maybe a little bit of an overextension of 4 members of BFG do go down right there. So a 4-for-2 trade coming down. A first good team fight. A little bit of an overextension by Vi and Galio. They were too greedy for the kills. Maybe they were too excited to end the game. And because Vi was the last one to be taken down, Vi and Galio, they won't be respawning in time if Secret Empire does want to take this dragon. So this could be the comeback from Secret Empire. But again, Lee Sin is one of those champs that doesn't scale well into the game. And Camille is here, and she wants to have some fun. She does ult Lee Sin. Lee Sin trapped inside a cage. Jin able to hit all 4 shots, just showing how skilled he is. Katarina picking up the double kill right now. And with that ultimate, she picks up the triple kill. The resetting cooldowns on Katarina allows her to deal so much damage in a short amount of time. And with that, they pick up the ace. And BFG go down. BFG take game 2, and we will be going into a game 3 shortly as they take the Nexus. Very clean game from start to finish, maybe except that last team fight where Vi and Galio did overextend a little bit. Other than that, very clean play. Katarina carrying, even though she was matched up in a 2v1 situation, and does pick up the MVP right there. Jin definitely scaling into the game, and if the game did go any longer, we would have seen him destroying those team fights. On the other side, we see Corki picking up the SVP. He did deal a significant amount of damage, but not really carrying the team enough to take them into the late game. The most damage definitely coming out of Katarina, and then followed up by Jin. Katarina just dealing so much damage with her resetting cooldowns, and second to that is Jin, who has 12.5k damage, and definitely did a lot of damage during team fights, as well as with her ult. On the other side, we have Akali dealing out a ton of damage, but she just wasn't able to finish off her kills. She did have the combos, but eventually she got so behind that she didn't have the damage to burst down targets that she really wants to. And she wasn't able to snowball the game as hard as the enemy assassin Katarina was able to. So the lane swap not really helping too much in this game, because Katarina will still be able to get fed, and that's a moment where you really feel like you show them who's boss. Be it core, just showing the enemy team, yeah, you can 2v1 me, you can even 5v1 me, but I'll still pull off the win. I'll still pull off all the damage I can with my resetting abilities and my ability to assassinate all of you. So that was an exciting game 2. We will be going into a game 3, the last game of the series. It's going to be another close one. We're going to be seeing how both teams want to approach that. And with that, I'll see you then. Oh, whoops, sorry. I was just talking for so long with my mic off. But yeah, so far the normal the normal jungle pathings have been taken, and we see both teams just not going for any invades but playing safe. I didn't go over the draft. I guess my mic was muted. I'm sorry about that. But Braum and Ziggs are going to be the combo to watch out for, as Braum's knockup and slow can combo really well into Ziggs' ultimate, dealing so much damage if you hit it in the right place. And on the other side, you want to be watching out for Alistar and Yasuo, as their knockup into ult combo can be absolutely devastating if they are able to hit it right. And we have actually in normal laning, we don't have that 2v1 that we saw last game, because Katarina still popped off despite having to 2v1. We see an invade coming out from Lee Sin. Lee Sin really needs to make the most out of his early game, so he needs to go for these kind of invades. And in the Baron lane, it looks like everything is kind of stabilizing. So we don't see the lane swap that we did see last game, and everyone's just taking their respective lanes that the game was designed to. And we see an invade from Vi coming out to Lee Sin's blue buff, predicting that Lee Sin will invade Vi's blue buff. So Vi thinking 2 steps ahead right there. She knows that she gets beaten level 3 and she doesn't have too much utility until level 5, and they're both going for their respective scuttlers. So far, a pretty interesting opening coming out by both teams. Both junglers playing some mind games on their opponents right there and just counter jungling. Vi looks like she wants to gank Yasuo right here, and Yasuo just going to flash out and get away. Lee Sin is here to assist if he really does need to. He lands the first kill on Vi. We'll see how this goes. Lee Sin doesn't have ult yet. Vi also doesn't have ult as well. She just flashes out. Alistar knockup comes in clutch, and Akali is engaging as well. The damage is there. Vi very, very low, and first blood actually goes down on Alistar, who took a bit too much damage. He isn't too tanky before level 5. Barrier is popped and Alistar goes down, but Vi actually survives with very low HP, and also Ziggs survives with very low HP. In the entire Secret Empire's team is very, very low, but they all managed to survive and actually get a kill on Alistar. So that is very, very nice for them. And now the ults are up. This could have been a very, very different fight if Alistar had ult and he did have those defensive stats and that bit of damage, as well as if Vi or Lee Sin had ult. Their ults are also really, really impactful in team fights. Lee Sin able to kick away someone or pull off an insect, whereas Vi is able to have that unstoppable charge towards someone and pick them up and slam them into the ground, dealing tons of damage and CC. So overall, a 1-0 lead for Secret Empire, but nothing too big that it's going to make a huge impact in the first dragon fight. The first dragon will be Mountain Dragon, so both teams want to be going and gunning for that, as that is an important buff to have, especially in the early game where you are trading a lot. It allows you to win trades much easier and also take less poke damage. So that is spawning on 15 seconds. Both teams are going to be going for a few resets right here. They want to be having as many items as possible, as strong as possible for that first dragon fight. It looks like Braum was there and he was punished for face checking into Alistar. He's going to have to recall, and Lee Sin's going to be starting the Mountain Dragon right here. We're going to be seeing if Vi wants to contest this. It looks like she does. The ward is there. Lee Sin going for the dash into the honey fruit. I mean the blast cone. That's gotta be one of the most flashy plays I've seen. That's gotta be that was really, really cute by Lee Sin right there, securing the dragon. But Alistar does go down in the process, trying to peel for the rest of his team. And it looks like Akali's also there in the midst of the entire enemy team. She uses her second skill, and it looks like she may be able to escape, but not going to happen on Secret Empire's turf. So it is a 2-for-1 trade going down at the dragon. But yeah, that blast cone play was extremely cute by Lee Sin right there. Just showing how much creativity you can have with Lee Sin's kit. So yeah, they do secure the dragon with that play, but they are at a gold deficit, as Secret Empire was able to pick off Alistar and another champion during that team fight. So overall, I would say it is pretty even. If I had to choose sides, I would pick I would say that both teams are pretty evenly matched because of Lee Sin does need to capitalize early, and you do expect him to win those team fights because he is an early game champ. Vi trying to engage onto Akali. Akali just smartly flashing out, doesn't want to take any damage, and just tries to get out of there as soon as possible. So the Rift Herald is spawning in 25 seconds. Both teams want to be prioritizing that objective and seeing what they can do. So yeah, Lee Sin definitely has a ton of utility, as you can see right there. Alistar going for the knockup and the insect into Yasuo ult, what I was talking about. Braum ult, but it's not going to be enough as Yasuo dashes onto Braum, but Jhin finishes off the kill with an auto attack. So yeah, that combo Alistar into Yasuo definitely paying off right there at that kill. We may be seeing a 4v2 dive coming out if Alistar wants to go for this. It looks like Alistar is tanking turret. You don't want to be tanking too many shots. Yasuo does have passive up, so he does take that shot without taking too much damage. Garen is trying to dodge Jhin, and it looks like he successfully dodged all 4 shots right there. But Garen retreating does enable a window where BFG can take this first Rift Herald, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Vi not going to contest this. She's just farming in her jungle for now, and I think they've secured themselves a small lead with a Dragon, Rift Herald, and a slight gold lead. Also, they take down the first turret, widening the gold gap to 3k. Yeah, so BFG definitely taking a slight early lead, but that's expected, especially if you're playing Lee Sin on your team. So the next dragon that will come up is going to be the Cloud Dragon, which provides you with that move speed boost. In these matches, we've seen the Mountain Dragon and Cloud Dragon come out a bit earlier, but the Infernal Dragon and the Ocean Dragon are ones that I feel scale a lot better into the game, as those dragons provide you with damage or vamp, which is more effective when you have more damage, so that the percent of damage that you get actually increases your AP or AD by more. But it looks like Braum is able to get knocked up right here, and Vi able to secure the kill. Alistar goes for the insect onto Vi. Vi is stunned and she goes down. Very, very nice play by Alistar right there, securing the kill. Lee Sin able to get a return kill onto Ziggs in the mid lane, and so Vi goes down, and Lee Sin also gets a kill. So only Yasuo goes down for BFG, whereas Ziggs and Vi went down for Secret Empire. So really cute play by both Lee Sin and Alistar, just showing how powerful high skill capped players can be in the hands of very skilled players. So champions that have a higher skill ceiling like Alistar and like Lee Sin are really effective at the highest level of play when players really know the ins and outs of their champions. But the next dragon has spawned here. It is a Cloud Drake. Both teams are trying to contest this and seeing what they can do about it. Most of the ultimates are up, but it's important to note that Braum's isn't. Everyone else's is except Vi's and Braum's. So looks like Secret Empire are just going to be giving this one up for now. Alistar is there just in case they want to go for any sort of steal, and they do secure the dragon. However, Akali gets ulted by Vi. We'll see if she goes down. She is stunned. She's airborne, and Braum is able to secure the kill. Garen maybe has gone for a bit of an overextension. Yasuo ult and Alistar ult are able to finish them off. The CC comes out. Lee Sin actually goes down to Braum right there. Braum securing a double kill on himself after killing Akali and Lee Sin, and only Garen goes down. So a 2-for-1 trade, but BFG do secure the dragon, so it is overall a pretty even trade. Lee Sin having 7,000 gold. Yasuo with the second most amount of gold with almost 7k himself, and Ezreal is the one with the most gold. On the other side, you want to see your ADC having the most gold most of the time, as they're the most important one to have those items and really scale into the game. Garen may have gone for an overextension. Knockup comes out from Alistar. He is trying to get away. He goes under turret. He's trying to clear the wave. But it looks like he may go down anyways as the ult comes out from Garen, but he does escape after his team catches up. It looks like Lee Sin did find Ziggs right there. He does go for the combo, nicely executed. However, Ziggs' ult does come out. Ziggs still goes down to Lee Sin, but Lee Sin sacrifices his life for it. Not worth it in my opinion. And with that, Lee Sin goes down once again in this game. But he is 2-for-2, so not too bad, and he has been securing those objectives. So currently the game state is that there are 2 dragons and a 5k gold lead for BFG. The score is 7-7, but it's definitely in BFG's favor as they have taken already 3 turrets. All the outer turrets are down for Secret Empire. So they do have a gold lead, but they need to capitalize on it as definitely Ezreal can pop off in team fights later into the game, as well as Lee Sin not having the best scaling, but also the Braum into Ziggs combo is definitely real. Akali also... So yeah, both teams are having more items come up. Yeah, so both teams are just gearing for a team fight. They do have the position. It looks like BFG want to capitalize on the early lead and gold lead to win more team fights while they still can. They are all in the mid lane. A 5v5 may break out soon. Both teams just backing off for now. The Baron is up, so whoever wins the next fight can capitalize on it if they win hard enough by taking the Baron and if their jungler is still alive. So both teams are going to be prioritizing that objective, but yeah. So I think that BFG are playing this very nicely, clearing out the side lanes, making sure that they have lane priority in every single lane. That way, if a team fight does break out, they are still getting something, win or lose. So a lot of side lane pressure coming out, especially when you have assassin champions or champions that can split push really well, like Yasuo or Akali on your team. It really helps out a ton. But it looks like Braum did overextend a little bit. A knockup comes out from Alistar, but just going to be backing out as Yasuo doesn't have the damage to kill him just yet. Yasuo is one of those champions that can scale really well into the game, as he is a crit 80 carry, and later into the game, if he does build his full items, he can dish out so much damage, especially with his ult and the armor pen that you get with it. But it looks like the Zhonya's hourglass is popped right there. The flash does try to escape, but it's just not going to be enough. Vi goes down, but a return kill goes on to Akali. Garen a little bit overextended for not the first time this game. He has the ult, but this time he's not going to get away with it. Jhin hitting a couple of his shots, helping his team get away. Ezreal almost having enough damage to take down Jhin, but just barely not enough. We see the damage really stacking up on Ezreal right now as he flashes. He uses third skill and kills Lee Sin as well, popping off in that team fight, dishing out so much damage. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the kill on Jhin, but he does pick up a double kill instead. And now he has a ton of gold, and we're going to be seeing what items he wants to be buying with that. And so far, he has bought Trinity Force as well as Manamune, and also his Executioner's Calling. He's going for that Mortal Reminder that we have been seeing. Mortal Reminder is definitely popular in the higher ranks, as the passive that it gives is really, really valuable. And with actually, Yasuo did secure the dragon. We're going to be seeing some cross mapping as they're trying to take the Baron, but they might not have enough damage yet, as Akali is there and she might want to screw some things up right now. Vi does just ult that, and the Baron is still alive. Lee Sin going in right there. He may have gotten the smite, and just like that, they stole the Baron. Lee Sin just gonna say thank you for the leash and take that Baron, as well as they might wipe out the entire enemy team. Akali picking up the last kill on the ace, and with that, BFG maybe your second finalist. Yeah, with the Baron buff, they're definitely going to be able to do that. 3 dragons, and they are able to capitalize on their early leads, and with that, the Baron buff, they are able to take the ace and to take the enemy nexus. BFG advancing to the finals as well. They're your second grand finalist of this tournament, picking up the victory. Lee Sin paying off finally in the last game. He was able to carry that, especially the last Baron steal was so critical to ending the game. And yeah, it was a really risky play by Secret Empire, as they shouldn't have gone for that Baron. SVP going out to Ezreal. It's a feels bad moment where he just got online with his items. He just had his power spike, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to secure the victory. It's a feels bad moment for him. And we see on the other side, MVP coming out to Jhin, dishing out a ton of damage over the entire match. And I would say the Alistar definitely helped as well. He had some really, really nice plays throughout the entire game, like that solo kill on Vi. You don't see an insect like that every day. And also Yasuo going 3-1-6, dishing out a lot of damage. If we do look at the scores, right, if we do look at the damage right there, Ziggs and Ezreal dealing the most amount of damage, and kind of like Orianna, where you see Orianna having a ton of damage, you see Ziggs having the same kind of pattern, as a lot of his damage comes from poke, whereas Ezreal's is during team fights where it really matters. So Ezreal dishing out damage, definitely deserved SVP right there. It's a feels bad moment that he lost. On the other side, we see the other ADC dishing out the most damage, as Jhin had 4.5k damage throughout the entire game, with Akali following up second. She had tons of damage, but not too many kills. And then Alistar definitely was a key part of the team, as I already said, taking a lot of that CC and frontlining well. So GG's to BFG, who did take the finals in a 2-1 game. The series was very close. We had a lot of different close games, but they are your finalists. And yeah, with that will end this stream. I want to thank Shotcall for sponsoring this tournament, as well as League of Legends Wild Rift Global, who have a Discord server if you want to join that. Also, this tournament was casted by yours truly, Po Jelly. If you want to go check out my channel, I have tons of guides and educational content to provide you and to bring your game to the next level if you want to check that out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!